Hey everyone, Michael Pickens here, host of the Libertarian Leadership Academy weekday podcast, live stream show. And today we have a very special guest, an old friend of mine back in the day when he ran for VP for the LP. I was his campaign manager. So we've known each other for a long time.
10 years ago.
10 years ago. And we met at the Libertarian Party of Colorado convention back then, before it was like 2015, I think.
Yep.
And I gave the lunch keynote and you gave the dinner keynote. And that's how we got connected. But today is about your run for governor, your third run for governor of New York, correct?
You were the one who said back in the day, everyone who runs needs to agree to run 3 times. That's what you said. And I said,
is that
yeah,
it?
That's,
so that's
the reason. I wasn't going to run. I'm only running because of the commitment I gave to you 10 years ago. That's it.
Oh, wow. Well, that is amazing.
So everyone, amazing,
yeah, everyone can thank me. Everyone can thank me later.
Yes, absolutely. It's all because of you. No, but your point was a very valid one, even back then, because what most people don't see is that when you run the first time, you learn a lot. And I did, right? In fact, the weird part is when I ran in 2018, we ran by the seat of our pants. You were, for a short period of time, my campaign manager when I was trying to find the right thing.
Yep.
But it took me months before I was able to find the right campaign manager. I went through 3 of them before I could get by the time my campaign was really rocking and rolling, and it was, at one point, it was too late. Like, it took me a good 8-9 months before I really was rocking and rolling for that. I started in July of 2017 for a 2018 run. And I really wasn't rocking and rolling until probably June, May of the next year before I could really say we were really doing it. At that point, I mean, but we learned a lot. So we knew how to make it work. And by that time, by 2022, when that came around, the rest of the establishment realized I knew what I was doing. Right? They didn't really mess with me that much in the first. Like, this guy's some chump. He'll go. He'll figure something out. Then he'll never come back again. Which is usually the right answer. They're not wrong. Most people run one time, say, "This is terrible. This is a sewer. This is horrible. Why would I ever do this garbage ever again? It's punishment." I was $100,000 in debt after my first run.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah, I
believe
all the
it.
money
Yeah.
I raised $500,000, but all the money went right into the campaign, and wife, 2 kids, living in New York City. Wife doesn't work. I lived off savings. I couldn't make any money because unlike most people, when they run a statewide or national election, I don't work because it's a full-time job. So I didn't work for a year. And so I was $100,000 in debt. So I had to reboot everything. And they thought, oh, he's finished. Well, no, I came back in 2022. And they went, oh, this guy knows stuff. So they decided to use lawfare against me. Yeah. I was not prepared for the lawfare. I just wasn't. I tried my damnedest. I raised $500,000 again, but the lawfare got me on that one. They sued me off the ballot. I couldn't stop it. So Democrats made the rules to wreck me, threw me off the ballot. Then when I got back on the ballot, the Republicans used those same rules Democrats made to sue me off the ballot. So I'm an equal opportunity attacker or attackee, whatever you would call that. So
defender,
both got me.
Victim.
Yes, victim. There we go. I'm a victim. Mike,
victim of lawfare. Yeah,
I'm a victim. So now come back again, 2026, and they're like, "Can't we get rid of this guy?" But the reality of it is, what makes me special is not that I'm insanely good looking. I mean, I am, but that isn't what makes me special. What makes me special is going through it. I am now immune to a whole lot of it. Like, I know what they're gonna do. I know how it's done. I know how to act. I know what to expect. I'm not scared of them anymore. Right? All those things really make it very special. So, and they know it, and now they're worried.
Yeah, absolutely. So D. Dockery says it's time for a new New York led by Larry Sharpe. Agreed.
That's right.
100%. Now, I want to talk to you more about your philosophy on why you're running, right? Yep. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, the reality of it is, in 2016, after the Gary Johnson campaign, I really believed in my heart that Gary Johnson could get 5%. I really thought he would. I was a believer. I thought he'll get 5%. It'll change everything. And when he didn't get it, I was disappointed. Right? Yep. I really wanted him to get that 5%. You were there. You remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would have got us major party status. He got 4.85% in Washington State. He was almost there, and we worked very hard, and we had 34 other candidates on the ballot all across the state. And then after that, we kind of just went, okay, back to life, back to family, back to work. So
I felt the same thing. So at that point, I was already sick in New York State in that regard, New York City more than anything else. I was like, this is a problem. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to pack up and I'm going to leave. So I thought I was going to go. For what I do for a living, I'm a business consultant. What I do for a living. So I thought I need a big city. So I'm going to head over to Charlotte. I'm still on the I'm still on the East Coast. It's a big city. There's lower taxes. So I go down to Charlotte, look around. I could sell my shoebox of a house in New York City and buy a mansion in North Carolina for the same price and have less taxes. And I was like, this is great. But I didn't leave. I got angry. I thought, why in the world does my state, which by the way, those of you who don't know New York State, it is a beautiful state. There's everything you can imagine across New York State. Mountains, hunting, fishing, lakes, rivers, and we have Broadway, the Yankees, the Buffalo Bills, Niagara Falls, beaches. I mean, and New York City is one of the oldest cities in the country. So we have history, so much stuff to come see here, right? Why does it suck? It sucks because of my government. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back. This is 2017. I'm going to run for governor. And I'm going to win and change everything. That did not go as planned, but that was the plan. And so I went there, and that's when I realized how corrupt it is. I realized how bad it is. You know, I would do things like say, okay, look, I raised enough money. I raised $500,000. As an independent, no one had raised that kind of money in New York State before. That wasn't a thing. As a libertarian candidate, I was the biggest libertarian in 2018. No one raised that kind of money in 2018. I was the biggest one, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm good. So why am I not in the polls? And they're like, what do you mean? Well, you're doing polling. I'm not in it. I had the libertarian nomination. I got ballot access through signatures. So I'm on the ballot. I'm raising $500,000. Okay, put me on. And they're like, oh, no. That's not how that works. Well, what do you mean? You didn't buy the poll. What? I didn't know that. I didn't know you buy polls. I had no idea how that worked, right? I was like, oh, you got to buy it? Yeah, buy a poll. Buy a poll, put you in it. Oh, damn. Now I write polls. Like from that, I now write polls for people. So I know how to write a poll for someone now. I didn't know that before. So I figured that one out. Then I went to another place. I'm like, hey, press, why aren't you covering me? Like, what do you mean? I'm the libertarian candidate. I've raised $500,000, right? I'm on the ballot. I'm legitimate. Why won't you cover me? Oh, you don't buy ads. Oh, so I got to buy ads? Yeah, well, buy ads. Put you on. Done. That's how that works. And I was like, oh, I had no idea how much pay to play it was. No idea. And that made me angry, of course. So 2022 came. Oh, I was smart. 2022, I figured out I had a pack. They were buying, we were buying polls. They knew what to do. I was polled in 2022. If you remember, 2021, 2022, I was polled. I was at 4%, 5%, 6%. Polling at 6%, amazing, right? Amazing. I hadn't even announced yet, and I polled at 6%. That's how popular it was across state. Because people don't know, I cross the state every single year, and I go to all 62 counties, even if I'm not running. Doesn't matter. I still cross the state. I still meet people. I do my show, talk about New York issues. I still do it. So D is correct. Yes.
Yeah. 8%, right?
Yes. Just got a poll, came out on Monday, just 2 days ago. Now I'm at 8%.
Now, how much did that poll cost you?
It didn't.
Oh, they just included you?
No. Well, the issue is supporters can buy a poll if they want to.
Oh, okay.
And that's how we do it. The campaign doesn't buy the poll, and the other campaign doesn't buy a poll either. Supporters do. Either a PAC does or a supporter does. So some supporter, I don't know who. I actually don't know who bought the poll, to be fair with you. Some supporter said, I'm going to buy a poll. Thank you, supporter.
That's fantastic.
Yes. Or someone actually bought a poll who wasn't a supporter and maybe wanted to make Blakeman look bad.
Yeah.
So maybe they like Kathy Hochul, the Democrat, wanted him to look bad. So they put me in there so I could look bad for him. Possible. I mean, I don't know why. I don't care. If you happen to be listening, thank you. But I don't know who did it, but someone did. So again, there's two types of polls. Those don't know. You know this, Mike, but a lot of people listening may not. There's internal polling and marketing polling, right? Marketing polling is made so that you can put it out so people can see it. Internal polling is so you can understand what's happening with your electorate. So very often, I'm in many polls internally, but they won't show it because they don't want people to see I'm legitimate, but they want to know where I am, if I'm a threat or not. The Republicans prior knew I was a threat because they put other when they marketed the poll. They wouldn't put my name when they marketed it. How do I know it's real? Because I pulled at 8% there too. So other pulled at 8%. And it wasn't just other as nothing. It was other and then don't know, not sure was a separate piece. Why do you put other and then don't know, not sure? Because other is Larry Sharpe. You don't want to promote it that way.
Yeah.
So you don't want to, that's how. Yeah.
They didn't want to give you any press, right?
Correct. And it's a smart move. I get it. I mean, it's unethical in my view, but I get it. So yeah, so now for 2026, people are already buying me polls. I've already raised over 6 figures already, and it's just January. I've already raised over 6 figures. So we are rocking and rolling already, make things happen. And so why am I doing this? Because after 2018, I got angry again. I thought this is crooked. I'm gonna fix it. 2022, I got angry again because it's even more crooked. Now I'm going to fix it again. So now this is just kind of like spite running now. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, but the reality of it is I'm the only guy running who's talking about solutions. That's really the thing. If you look at the other guys running, the Republican just goes, oh my God, Kathy Hochul, who was my governor, she's terrible. Democrats are bad. Or Mamdani, who is now the mayor of New York City. Mamdani evil, he's bad. And then what does Kathy Hochul say? She just did her State of the State yesterday. And half of it was on the Republicans and Trump are destroying New York State. Democrats been running my state for 30 years. I don't think that's true. That's not true. So, yeah, but that's what they do. All they do is other guy bad. That's it. If you're a Democrat, it's orange man bad. If you're a Republican, it's brown man bad because Mamdani's brown. So yeah, so it's brown man bad or orange man bad. That's it. That's all you do. You don't have a solution. And I look at them and I say, I remember I was on one podcast and a guy is saying, but Larry, you don't understand. People don't get that when Mamdani, see the history above. I said, so I can't pay my rent and your answer is a history lesson. And he's like, yeah. Doesn't matter, dude. I don't want to hear his lesson. I want an answer. I can't pay my rent, or my kid can't read, or I can't get a job, or my family's leaving New York State because I can't keep them together because I can't get a job here. Whatever. Your history lesson means nothing. I don't want to hear, Rothbard. I don't give a shit. I want to have an answer for my problem. If you give me an answer, we can do something. And sadly, they often can't.
Yeah. So one unique thing about your campaign is that you have very detailed policies on what you are going to do day one on your website. And I mean very detailed. You can click through and whatever it is, environment, right? You're going to click through. See, where was it?
Well, if you go up to that one video up top, go up to the top video, that video, the top, not that one, go higher.
Gotcha.
That, nope, a little bit lower. Right there. That one right there. That one is literally 8 hours straight of policy that I did not take a bathroom break, a drink break, or a food break. And it's time stamped. So if you go there, whichever you want is listed there. I want education. I want this. It's time stamped. So I gave 8 hours straight of how to fix New York State right there. If you want to, if you are a policy wonk, go there. It's time stamped. Pick the piece you want. Enjoy.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and play that. You have the time, right?
I have 8 hours. Go.
So the thing is, you're actually offering solutions, whereas the other two candidates, they're not, right? And there's something else unique about this campaign that's different than the other campaigns, right? And I think Dee posted it here earlier, right? Larry, can you talk about matching funds and why it's a big deal?
Yes. Most people are surprised on why Mamdani, the DSA candidate, won in New York City. And there are many reasons why. To be very forward, I know him. He used to be, before he was mayor, he was my assemblyman. He's actually a very smart guy and very charismatic. That's all true. But the number one reason why he won is money. New York City has a policy of matching funds 8 to 1. So every $1 you raise, they give you 8. Well, New York City gave him $12 million. I'm not joking.
Wow.
Yes, $12 million. Mike, you give me $12 million, I'm the next governor of New York. And I'll bet you $12 million if you want. I don't mind. I'll bet you $12 million. You give me 12. If you can just throw me $12 million somehow, you do that, I am the next governor of New York. That's how
One
that
day.
works.
One day.
Yes, done. I am there. I'm governor. So that's how that works. So New York State has a similar plan, but it's not 8 to 1. It's 6 to 1.
Okay.
So once you are able to raise, they have, of course, convoluted rules. Of course, the rules are if I'm able to raise $500,000 from 5,000 New York State residents, I qualify for matching funds. Now, that is challenging for me because can I raise $500,000? Did it twice already. That's not a problem. But over half of my money comes from outside New York State.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I don't have enough New York State supporters, and I need 5,000 of them. I'm only about halfway there. So I don't have enough New York State number of supporters. So if there's anyone right now who wants to give and you live in New York State, here is what I would prefer. If your family can give me $50, have one person give me 25, another person give me 25, because then I have two donors. So if you can support and you live in New York State, if you don't live in New York State, just give because you love me and I'm good looking. That's totally fine. But if you live in New York State, please, if you can, divvy that up if that's possible, if you can. So yeah, that's how that works. But here's the next piece. They only match between $5 and $250. They don't match over that.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to help me out, please give anywhere between $5 and $250. It gets matched if you live in New York State. If you don't live in New York State, please sell your car and give me money. There we go. See, easy. Done deal.
Yeah, and if you're like me and you know a lot of people in New York State and you have a lot of friends, I'm gonna be calling and reaching out. I've talked to a couple people in New York State already. Reach out, tell them to donate, ask them to donate.
Yes.
This is a big deal. We can completely transform New York State.
Well, let me move to the next step. It kicks in whenever I hit that number. So when I hit that 500,000, New York State will write me a check for $3 million.
Wow.
Yes. When I get it, they will literally just write me a check for $3 million. When they do that, if I can do that before April 1, that is my goal. So I got about 2.5 months to do this. If I can get the number by April 1, I'll be able to easily get ballot access on the Libertarian line and also the We the People Party line.
Yep.
If other parties are open, if the Greens are open, if Forward is open, if they are, I'll try to get another line too if I can, because I like to have a more left-leaning line if I could, because my state is heavily Democratic. Mm-hmm. My state is 47% Democratic, 30% independent and no party affiliate, and only 23% Republican. So Republicans are outgunned 2-1 easily, 3-1 if you count independents, right? They're outgunned 3-1. So they're totally outgunned. There's no way they can win. And no, a Republican has not won any statewide election in my state in 24 years. Nothing. Not AG, not senator, governor, nothing. So they're done already. But there is an advantage in this. Because of that, Elise Stefanik, who was going to go to the UN, was going to be running for governor in New York State. She recently dropped out. She's like, I'm out. Thanks for the $2 million I raised. Have a nice day, guys. Thanks, suckers. And she left. And then the new guy came in, a guy named Blakeman. Blakeman came in, and Blakeman said, hey, I'll save us. And people are like, who? He is the Nassau County executive. He stepped up. And all of a sudden, people in the Republican Party started saying, Larry, look, you know how we sued you off the ballot? You know how we've completely attacked you and called you names and posted lies about you? Yeah. We're just kidding. We've always loved you, my friend. Hey, come on. We got jokes. Some sense of humor. Come on. They basically did that. So in that regard, some of them have been like, Larry, why don't you run? And in the past, I just said, no, why bother? Who cares? I can lose on my own. I got that down, right? I don't need your help to lose. I got that. But now they're talking about actually helping me and supporting me. And if that's true at all, then I can get my matching funds early and then run the Republican primary. If I run in the Republican primary, New York State has what's called fusion voting.
Yep.
So I can run on multiple lines. So I'm already going to run Libertarian line. That's a guarantee. I already have the nomination. I'll be running Libertarian line. But I could actually add other lines. If I raise enough money, I'll add We the People line. That was the plan. But now if I run in the Republican primary, I could add the Republican line and the conservative line. I could literally be listed 4 times on the ballot. Republican, Libertarian, Conservative, We the People. Now, if I get Green or Forward, if they're open, that's a left-leaning line. That's 5 lines with a line that Democrats are happy. I have all the Infinity Stones, and I can now snap my fingers and be inevitable. Like that can happen.
Be governor.
Right?
Yeah.
I can be governor. That's it. I'm the governor. That's it. So I could do that. It's possible. So I'm actually considering doing that because I get both lines on in April. I'm sorry, in May, I'll get both lines. And then in June would be the primary. Now, if I lose Republican primary, I'll still be running as Libertarian and hopefully We the People, hopefully Green or Forward, I hope, all of those. And which still will ensure that I'll do well because I'm already polling at 8%. And as you know, that will go up. Who knows how far? Let's assume I run Republican primary and I lose. It'll go up at least 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Who knows what it's going to go up? And you know that if I'm polling at 15, 16%, I'll get at least half at the end of the election, which is easily ballot access for all the lines. So ballot access is we're done. That's easy, right? The question is, can I win? Can I come in second? I think if I actually win the Republican nomination, I will have 4 or 5 lines against Kathy Hochul, a 2-person race.
Yep.
I think I win. I think I'm the governor of New York.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Joe says, how do we bridge the gap to get the New York donors needed to hit ballot access reality? Should we troll New York Facebook groups? Like, what do we need to do?
Yes, there are. What I need is cash in general, because once I have a big chunk of cash, a big income of cash, I will then use that to get local people, like a $5 drive from 5,000 donors, whatever, right? So I need to do that kind of drive. And that takes either, Mike, it's your marketing, right? It's either going to be an email and or social media and or texting or some combination of that. I don't know details, but I have people who will know details, but it takes money, right? Buying lists, knowing what to do, putting together. That's how we do it. So how can anybody help? Yes, trolling Facebook groups is a great idea, because what I need is people to know who I am. One of the best things you can do is if you go to any of my social media, you will see a picture of the poll that just came out with me at 8%. Put that poll in any of the Facebook groups. They will attack me. They will call me names. Stupid spoiler, whatever they're going to do. It's totally fine. I don't care. Know my name so that when they go to my website and see me, they go, this guy's actually good.
Yeah.
What I'm looking for, and again, I'm preaching to the choir for you. This is for people outside. You know this. What I'm looking for is legitimacy. And being attacked is still legitimate, right? I'm looking to be legitimate. That's the key. The sad part is right now, in New York State, the Republican Party is the spoiler party. How do I know that? Because Curtis Sliwa just ran last year in the last election 3 months ago in New York State, and he ran for mayor. Curtis Sliwa, for those who don't know, is very popular in New York City. He started the Guardian Angels in the 70s. People know, they recognize him on the street, right? They know him. He got 7% of the vote.
Yeah.
Not 17, not 70, 7. Single digit. And he was the official Republican Party nominee.
Yep.
So now in my state, New York State is about 2 cycles away from no longer being able to run Republican statewide candidates. That's where Nebraska and Utah are now in the opposite, right? Nebraska, Utah, as you also probably know, the Democrats almost never run statewide candidates. They just can't. No one will do it. Why bother? You can't make any money. It's just an L. People don't do it. They don't take the loss. Why would they? New York State, it's like 2 cycles from New York. The Republicans can't run candidates anymore. They had the fight to run Blakeman. Blakeman's 70 years old. That's who they found. And you know who else is running against him? Nobody. They can't find anybody. Nobody would do it. Why would you? You know you're going to lose.
Sacrificial lamb.
Correct. We have to come up with a coalition. Look, to be forward, coalition is how Trump beat Harris in a popular vote. That's how he beat her. He would not have won the popular vote if it wasn't for the coalition. He got RFK Jr., he got Tulsi Gabbard, he got Elon Musk. That coalition is how he got his mandate. He might have still won the election, but he would not have gotten the mandate of beating her in a popular vote without that coalition. I'm the coalition maker.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who can make a coalition.
And you're not Trump. So
correct. And by the way, I'm not endorsed by Trump, and I don't want that endorsement.
No.
An endorsement for Trump. If I lived in, say, Kansas, critical. I live in New York State. The opposite is true. I do not need his. Blakeman already has the Trump endorsement. Good. Keep that albatross across your neck. I live in New York. No, thank you.
So Philip says Blakeman represents the youth and vitality of the GOP.
Sadly true. He's exactly right. Yes, it is. Well, the funny part is I call them and I talk to them. I'm like, dude, why are you supporting this guy? What are you doing? Like, I know a lot of them, right? I've been doing this for 8 years. I know a lot of them. And they will tell me right to my face, Louder, yeah, he can't win. Ain't no way. But we got to support him anyway. Why? We kind of, got to support him anyway. Well, okay, I hear what you said, but you haven't given me a reason. Yeah. Well, because, we just gotta. You don't gotta. That's not a thing. That's not an answer. We gotta is not a thing, but they do. And I know they have an issue, right? A lot of Republicans are concerned because of the 2026 election coming up here. I understand their concern. Their worry is the Republicans are going to get their butt kicked and they're going to lose the House. So they want someone who will support the Republicans in the House. I get it. I do. I understand that. So you're picking a 70-year-old guy from downstate that no one's heard of.
Yeah.
How about a little bit of energy, maybe? Pick an energy guy. Maybe you got a shot, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you got a shot of keeping some New Yorkers. I don't know. We'll see.
So, Larry, I'd like to switch this up a little bit because we only have a few minutes left. I told you, 30 minutes, that's it. That's how I like to keep this live stream going. You had talked to me 3 years ago, about a book you were writing on happiness, right?
True.
Would you mind talking about that a little bit?
It's actually behind me. But yes, I did. I have to rewrite the last paragraph. This is a true story. I gave out the first 5 chapters at Freedom Fest like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Because I thought it was going to be done. I gave out and I told people, hey, read the 5 chapters. Tell me what you think. Right. And so I know if it's a decent book or not. I gave out about 50 or 100. I forgot how many I gave out. I just gave them out. People I knew. Mike, nobody said anything. So I thought, this is my head. Wow, this is a crappy book.
Should have sent it to me.
I just gave the people who were there. I thought it's enough with this. Someone will tell me if there's a piece. No one said a word. And I thought, they like me. They're my friends. They don't want to tell me how bad it is. So they say nothing. And I thought, okay, this sucks. So I kind of just shelved it. So, Jack is in the house. How are you, Jack? Good seeing Jack. So yes, Jack's up there, Western New York. So good to see him here. So no, so then I just kind of shelved it. And so I shelved it ever since. And now my life has changed tremendously in these last couple of years. So now I got to rewrite the book again. So I will rewrite it. Probably I'll rewrite the last chapter or two, maybe this summer, or maybe tomorrow. And maybe I'll pop it up there and get it back up there. But it's a book on happiness. And happiness is what matters. And as you know, I always talk about this: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. That's what we're supposed to be about. Government should be about trying to make you as happy as possible. Why? Because happy people don't want socialism. Happy people don't want fascism. Happy people don't want the government to be in their life. Happy people want to have babies. Happy people want to have relationships. Happy people want to start businesses, right? Happy people want all these things. Happy people like community. So the happier that we are, the better off we are. And there are 3 key pieces to happiness. 3 key pieces. And if you understand this, it will help you to move forward towards that. And they go in and out. We don't always keep them. They go in and out. Number 1, you have to feel loved. Number 2, you have to feel respected. Note I said feel. You may be loved, but not feel it. Particularly if you have something inside of you that believes you don't deserve love, in which case you will not feel loved, even if you are. You have to feel respected. Again, feel. You may be respected, but if there's something inside of you that believes you're unworthy of respect, you won't feel it, even if you are respected. And last, you must have purpose. You have to have those 3 things, you'll be happy. Purpose can come from you, from others, can be family, can be business. It's very often professional, but it doesn't have to be. It could be anything. It could be your own family, could be friendships, could be anything, but you have to have a purpose, a reason to want to get up and do it. And here's the issue. If you have all 3, you're pretty happy. And how do you know? People who are unhappy, they try and they grab short bursts of pleasure. People who are happier do a whole lot less of that. So if I'm unhappy, I'm constantly looking for the dopamine hit, constantly, whether that's through food or substances or videos or video games. It's something I'm doing to get that quick hit because I'm unhappy. The happier I am, the less of that I will do. Pleasure and happiness aren't the same. In fact, pleasure and happiness actually are against each other. The unhappier you are, the more pleasure you want. The happier you are, the less pleasure you seek. Pleasure usually is individual. Happiness is always somehow with others. So yes, if you count all together, you'll see. If you have all 3, you're pretty happy. If you only have 2, You can keep rocking and rolling, but you will feel something's wrong. So you got to find the third. And if you understand that, you'll know which one is which. If you only have one, you have a very good chance of being completely absorbed in it. You have the ability to be completely absorbed into something, like my purpose over everything, or love over everything, or respect over everything. So you have a chance of being that. If you have none of them, you will be self-destructive.
Yeah.
That's how that works. You'll be self-destructive.
Larry, thank you so much for sharing. Let's talk about where people can find you, how they can donate to your campaign, how they can encourage other New Yorkers to donate, right? So you just don't need New Yorkers' donations. You're looking for donations from everywhere, right?
Over half my money is from outside the state. The reality of it is there is no independent running this year, that is more important than my run.
Yep.
No one's more important. And you might go, Larry, that's hubris. No, it's true. New York State is the hardest state in the union. I can prove that fact. I'm just saying it, to get ballot access for independent parties. How do I know that? In 2022 was the first time in almost 100 years there was no independent candidate on the ballot for governor. And in 2024, New York State was the only state that had no independent candidate on the ballot for president. None, not even one. We are the hardest. This is the hardest to get on the ballot. And I'm being very forward with this next piece. No one else can get it. Not because I'm so good looking, as I said. I am good looking. But that isn't the reason why. It's because anyone who's been through this before will not do it again. The people who could do it will not. The only person who can and will do it is the guy you're looking at right now. And that's from New York State. There's no one else who can do it for New York State. Plus, you got to be over 30. You got to live here for 7 years.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. So you got to be over 30, live here for 7 years. Yes, I have that too for the last 7 years. So you got to have that too. And I've been here for a whole lot longer than that. So yes.
Awesome.
Now, how do you find me? LarrySharpe.com is the answer. Head over there. You can donate if you want to. You can please sign up to be a volunteer. I need bodies and I need dollars. So please do both. If you can help someone out, please do that. Not just that. Here's a simple thing you can do. Go to any of my social media. I'm on all the things: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all of them, X, any of them, just under Larry Sharpe. I'm the most popular Larry Sharpe in the country, luckily. All you have to do is do that. Check me out there. Take anything and share it into other groups. The more you can put my name into anything that is New York politics, the better. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you know, Larry, you inspired me to start doing these live streams because of how many that you do. And then it looks like you have the Sharpe Way and you have the Governor Shack, right?
Yep.
And you have is that an AM radio show also?
I do. Yes, I do an AM radio show at WYSL every Monday. I do the Sharpe Way, which is my professional, and I do Larry Sharpe, the Gov Shack, which is out of the campaign. So yes, 3 different shows. Yeah, I do usually about 5 shows, give or take, a week. So I put out anywhere between 8 and 10 hours of live content every week. Plus, when I travel across New York State. I've done over 800 live events in New York State, and I try my best to go live and show those live. I do at least probably 4 or 5 of those a month that I'm able to actually show live. It's an event I do with the people around. So yeah, I put out a lot of content.
Yeah, whenever I'm talking to candidates that I'm coaching or doing the trainings, I always say, look at Larry Sharpe, look at what he's doing, and do that. Do that for your community, do that for your county, for your state house district, for your state, wherever you're running, do that. Talk about the issues that matter to the people there locally and start creating content, getting yourself out there.
The more you do it, the better. And the sooner you start, because when you start, you will suck, because everyone sucks when they start, and you will eventually be good. And now people say, Larry, you're so good in front of a camera. You're so good. I've done so many of these.
Yeah.
That's not because I'm so smart. It's because I've been doing so much of it. Just do it a lot. You'll get good at it. It's how it works.
Yeah, you got to put out crap 1.0 to get to mediocre 2.0, to get to good 3.0, to get to great 4.0, to get to amazing 5.0. You just got to put yourself out there and just believe that you will get better.
What did you always say? You always tell me fail fast. Is that what you said? Was that the
fail forward fast? Yep.
There we go. Fail forward fast. Do that. Do what he said. Yes.
Yeah. The path to success is paved in failures. So
true. It's the number one thing for success, as you know, is grit.
Yep.
Perseverance, grit, tenacity. Keep going, keep going. People know who I am, not because my policies are good. I wish that were true. They know who I am because I just don't stop.
Yeah.
That's true.
Larry, we are over 5 minutes. Thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate it. Love to have you back on here in a month or two. You know, we'll do what we can to get some New York voters to put in some money as well. So thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Yep. Have a great one.